Prince was iconic for many reasons, his androgynous appearance being chief among them. It's difficult to say in present day how much of Prince's persona was his genuine self-expression slash identity versus youthful rebellion and clever branding. Maybe a bit of both. Prince also adopted while being a straight man, which would probably arise allegations of appropriation today. And I think this is because Prince was celebrated for something that many non-straight people, even today, are quite frankly vilified for. It was cool when Prince wore heels, but if a similarly brave male individual did it today without a illustrious career and millions of dollars, they'd be mocked ruthlessly. And this is something that's interesting to me about the Prince fandom and really just music fans at large. There's like a cultural block on full male expression, from emotions to fashion to even occupation and hobbies. So people think of Prince as an exception when it comes to gender nonconformity, when he should have been someone who opened the doors for other people like him to also live their truth. I've also seen many Prince fans flaunt his very obvious attraction to women to justify his at times effeminate state of dress when it shouldn't have to be the case. It's always Prince could take your girl in spite of what he wore, not because a person who expresses the beauty of both genders is desirable in and of themselves, full stop. Now, with that being said, I'd like to revisit the question of how much that expression really was Prince, as I think this is one of the most interesting questions that is brought up about his legacy. And this little anecdote comes from Prince himself. Chris Rock asked him in 1997 on an interview for VH1, the androgynous thing, was that an act or... Prince responded, "That was a good question. I don't suppose I was searching really. I think I was just being who I was, being the true Gemini that I am. And there's many sides in that as well." And there was a little acting going on too. I think Prince is being honest here. He also said in another interview that, to paraphrase, that men were closed off and like to cry, and that he'd like to be a more loving person, and that he thought people assumed that he was because of the way he presented himself and that he was around them. There also exists an interesting duality to Prince's persona around this time, in which he juxtaposed religious imagery with a pretty open sensuality that he exuded around this time. And also, it's interesting to me how conservative Prince became later in life with, the whole Jehovah's Witness thing and the conspiracy theories and whatnot. It's almost like he was two completely different people, and that's always fascinated me, that his views could change so much. Maybe he saw some kind of, divine retribution or something for the way he acted when he was younger and being, a rebel or what. But I don't know, fascinating to me.